Hi, welcome to Luton. My name's Perry. This is the oldest UK record pressing plant, and we're going to show you around and show you how to make a record. This is where the magic starts. This is the mastering suite here, and when your music comes to us, we take your WAV file and we load it through this desk behind me here. This will put the music up onto the frame here, and we can see exactly the highs and lows of the music, and we can transpose that onto your lacquer, which can either be a 7-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch, whatever the music is. We will fit it to that size and we will cut you a lacquer. So we're cutting the runoff groove now. You'll see the head come up when it finishes and it's on its last diameter, and then the head return to the base, and that will be the finished cut.
This is the next stage of the process, called Galvanics. The aim of this area is to turn these lacquers into stampers which go on the press. There's a few steps in that process and we'll show you them now. So here Martin's washing the positive with chemicals and water. So he's preparing it to go into the electroplating bath. So now he's putting a plastic ring around the positive to allow it to fit into the bath. This then gets further washed and then dipped into a chemical bath. So now he's putting it into the electroplating bath. That's a nickel solution. So nickel's dissolved in the water there, that's why it's all green. A washer goes on and then a nut to hold it in place. Gets screwed on nice and tight. And dropped into the bath. The settings are set, which send a current through the anodes and diodes. And so if you look at that, motor's now spinning. So inside, it's constantly spinning around, so it grows evenly. So you call it growing, you're growing a stamper. The current going through the bath will attract the dissolved nickel to the plate you put in there and grow an exact negative replica on the front of it. And that negative replica is what we use to press the records. This has just come out of that bath. It's been in there for about 3 hours growing, and so this is a positive and a negative stuck together. So we'll split them apart, keep the positive in the box, and shape the negative ready for pressing. So here we're sanding the back of the stamper. It needs to be completely smooth because any imperfections will be pushed through to the other side when the record's being made downstairs. So we've got a sanding pad and a cleaning pad. The sanding pad actually sands it down, whereas the cleaning pad just takes off the debris after. So he's now just applying vacuum to the stamper to hold it down. That's the air noise you can hear there. Closing the door for safety, and then running the machine. So you can see it spinning around. So this is sanding the back of the stamper. The back of the stamper needs to be completely smooth. When the record is being pressed, if there's any bumps on there, on the back, as it gets pushed against the plastic, that bump on the back will push through to the front, and you'll have a little bump on the front, which you don't want, because that will cause audio imperfections on the record. Now we're cleaning the back of the stamper. Any debris from the nickel sanding will be removed by this pad. So here he's putting the stamper into the centering press. The black line you can see on that little screen will stay in the exact same position the whole way around. So he's moving the camera left and right, now spinning it. So if it is in the middle, that line won't deviate, it will stay dead on the center. So there you go, so you now see there's very little deviation in that line. So he'll get it even more precise. When he punches it, you'll be able to see actually inside the press. So that hole is now exactly in the middle of the stamper. So now the edge is trimmed off. So that hole he just cut sits in that guide, and then the edge is trimmed off the stamper. And so now it's going to be put inside this press here. Paper is put on top to stop it getting scratched. It's then put inside a press to form the edges of the stamper. So now it's got a formed edge and a formed center. So before it was in that press, it didn't have this skirt. We call this a skirt, and that sits on the mold on the presses downstairs. We're now finished in Galvanics. We have our stamper. Now we can press some records. Okay, so he's put in the labels. He's put in the orange material. Now he's extruding the blue material, dipping it into the black splatter, putting that into the press, and he closes the press, and now steam and water run through the pipes to first heat the material, then cool it again. That cycle takes about 30 seconds.
This is the final part where the records are visually quality controlled. They've cooled for 24 hours before coming to this area, and here they're inspected by Mary. So what are you looking for, Mary?
Make sure the records are flat and the edges are smooth and the middle label is in a correct place, and the middle is make sure it's flat, and the records are sometimes damaged or something, scratch mark or something, and everything we check.
Mary's very good at spotting the eagle eyes of the company.
In this room here is where we recycle vinyl, so any vinyl that is offcuts or bits that we can't use are ground down into little pellets through these machines and made into pellets which can then be used to press up vinyl, so recycled vinyl. So we offer a regrind, so they're mixed bags, mixed colours. The records all come out differently, and the records are all using recycled materials. We even, the labels which we can't use get sent off and are actually recycled and used to make underground pipes.
People that are releasing on vinyl tend to do it creatively, so they express their music through the artwork, and part of the joy, I've bought some vinyl just because of the artwork.
The vinyl sound is a warmer sound. It's an analog sound, so you have a curve, you have a smooth curve of music, whereas obviously with digital it's all ones and zeros, so it's either a 1 or it's a 0. So you lose that smoothness of the curve and the pleasurable sound that you get off of a piece of vinyl. It's much better.
We offer runs from 100. So, you know, we deal with artists directly and small labels.
When a record is first made, we produce test pressings. So we send you the test pressings before your main run to make sure that you're happy with the records that we're making. Once you approve those, we'll go into the main run. They're checked on an audible level when being pressed. So the first record off the press will get listened to all the way through to make sure it doesn't have any defects. And then when it's packed, the packing staff will check and look at each record and make sure that there's no marks, scuffs, rough edges, anything like that.
We also offer the service, you know, where we look after the order from start to finish, so we can kind of hold hands through the whole process of helping customers put their artwork together. If somebody's never done it before, there's quite a lot that goes into it. So we personally at Mighty Media, we look after all that side of things as well.
The last few years there's been a record store day which people are encouraged to go to their local record store and buy a record or 2 or maybe 3 if you're really rich. And generally it's the younger generation that are coming through and buying records.
It's more favourable than CDs, obviously. We've seen that market crashing, but we're not up with streaming, which is the more popular version of it. But with vinyl, you have something tangible, you can collect it, you can put it on your shelf, you can take it out and you can play it.
We love the process of pressing vinyl. We're very interested in it, and we always want to show our customers how it's done. We offer tours of the plant. We like to show people around and so they can see how their records are pressed.
Oh, there's a lot that goes into it, and hopefully this video will have you will have seen exactly what goes into it, and there is a lot.
I find it amazing that how music can be transferred through this process onto a piece of plastic, and that you can play this plastic back in your living room and listen to music, top quality music. It's an incredible process, and how it was first invented way back 40s, 50s when it was first coming around. The process hasn't changed very much since then.
It's amazing what comes out of a groove of a record with a diamond tip stylus whizzing round. Amazing, I still can't get my head around it.
There will always be vinyl records. We've had highs and lows, and now we're back onto a high, and it will continue like that. But people will love vinyl. People are out buying hi-fi systems, stereos to play vinyl on. Turntables are being made again. The whole industry has kicked up another notch. So vinyl will be around till the end of my lifetime.